to say thank you for a great scientist who left us a few months ago, but his deeds and works will not be forgotten. And he is not only an Egyptian who was serving Egypt, he served humanity. Indeed, he was working for the best interest of the human beings wherever they are. We are going to commemorate Ahmed Zouel. It was his birthday. He was born on the 26th of February. We are going to talk about Ahmed Zouel. We are going to talk about science in general. We are about to talk also about the dreams and hopes and ambitions of Ahmed Zouel, how to realize them on the ground, how to continue what he has started. We are very much delighted to have with us here, live in the studio, our dear guest, Professor Ghada Amer, Professor of Electrical Engineering in Banha University. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am, and have a very good day first.
Good morning.
Good morning, Professor Amer.
Good morning.
Let's first talk about commemorating a great scientist like Ahmed Zouel. If you could like to elaborate on the legacy and how could this be continued on another level by Egyptian scientists to follow his footsteps and follow suit, since he took the lead in one of the leading domains in science. Can we expect that another Egyptian scientist would emerge and take suit of what he started off with?
Yeah. First, good morning for all of you, and yes, this is very important that we are talking about Dr. Ahmed Zouel, this great scientist who have in his gene embedded the warm feeling for Egypt, and I believe all our great scientists outside the country, they're feeling the same feeling, but they don't have the channel to do something great in Egypt nowadays. But I believe there is a lot of initiative that they're trying here in Egypt to collect them back and to get them back, at least to benefit their students or the people or the nation here in the Middle East, not only in Egypt. Ahmed Zouel did a great thing. The Zouel city, its icon, like Caltech University now, and they are choose a field that is really important to empower science and technology inside the community and to change the research to something for economic or for development that we are needing. In every university in Egypt, there's a lot of scientists have the same passion and the same passion to make a change. But we still need a lot of work, hard work inside the government, policymakers, and also inside the university to improve the ecosystem, to take the idea to the market or to take the science to outside to make it like a Nobel Prize or do something like that. I heard in the morning something related to Dr. Ahmed Zouel. He mentioned when he went to Caltech University, he saw the success story of the people was in the same university. We need to make like a showroom for the people inside the university also to express the success story inside every university or every governorate, people who are doing well, because this will give the passion for the people to continue.
The passion.
Yeah.
Let me take it exactly from this word. What made Ahmed Zouel, the Nobel laureate Ahmed Zouel, is the passion to work, the will to achieve something, and to depend on a team. When he was asked at any occasion about his success, he would say he was always mentioning his team. And he was all the time saying, if it was on my own, I would never been able to achieve anything. I am only one among a team who are all the time working together and want to achieve a very important goal. We were working for this. One target, one goal, then we achieve this. In your opinion, what made Ahmed Zouel Ahmed Zouel? I mean, of course, there are many graduates who went to whether the United States or Europe or in any developed country to continue their studies. But not all of them are Ahmed Zouel. We have only one Ahmed Zouel, only one Nobel laureate in the field of science. In your opinion, why?
Mm-hmm. When I read the story of Dr. Ahmed Zouel, he always mentioned my mother is the secret. He mentioned that his mother always encouraged him to go for science, and he mentioned the first experimental he did it when he was 10 years old, and she was very happy that he will take the lamp oil, and they tried the experimental inside his room. And this is the mother, the first of the mother. And also his father always encouraged him that we need to do something for our community and to change, and keeping talking with him with this. But the important, when he went to USA and he put in the environmental that teach him how he work with that group, as you mentioned. And you know, in outside, when you make a research inside the lab, you have to make acknowledgement for the people, the technician people who are just prepare the lab for you. And it's very important, because everyone is important in the research. So the family, the mother, I believe the first thing, and the family, and also the ecosystem that we always ask that we need to build here in Egypt, to mention the people before they graduate from the school or the university, to how to work with the team and appreciate everyone around him, that if he help him in anything. Still we don't have this mentality that we always...
It's a culture.
It's a culture, and also the rules. If you know, in the promotion system, the single author in the paper, high factor than you work with a group, multidisciplines. Outside, no. If you make a research, it should be with a team, with a multidisciplines, because the research never depend on one person or one...
It's not a one-man show by any means.
Yes.
Right, and that's why they teach that in school, the teamwork while researching and everything. These are the modern ways of education. Let's go back to Ahmed Zoueil and talk about him and his system and his method of learning and application of science. I mean, his system and his school. Do you see other scientists, fellow scientists, who are following this particular school of Zoueil? And by the way, that was the same method that led him all the way to the Nobel Peace Prize. If you'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, Ahmed Zoueil mentioned that he, when he was in the Souk primary school, when he was very in young US school, he mentioned that his teacher teach him to always ask why and how. And this is very important when you need to grow up and to educate people how to be a good researcher or to good problem solver. They have to answer always the question why and how. The people outside the system always look at if you take it like this and you have to study like this, and if you ask even a question is very naive, they start feeling that you don't have the same passion to work or same
or you don't have the same capabilities, or
yes.
you might be stupid.
Maybe maybe this is stupid question be the noble way. So we need
by the way, this is one of the defects in schools with teachers.
Yes, even in university, when some student came and they say, for any professor we need to do something fancy or imaginary, they mention, wow, what you are doing, that's are stupid, go for this branch and this branch. Even if the postgraduate students, most of them didn't choose the category or the field they need to work because they work of this because the professors need them to go in the same field that they start. This is important to give the people the idea of innovation, to think out of the box, creativity, yeah, and to encourage this for the kids, for the women, for people inside the university, because in the Middle East, really, we have a good genes. I always mention to our students, if you will see, about 15% of the people who live in innovation center outside the country is from the Middle East. So our gene is perfect. We don't have any defect. The defect that we don't have the ecosystem to complete the circle from idea to the market or to international scale.
And about his dreams and about his hopes for the future. I think now this is the most important issue. If we want to really say thank you to Ahmed Zoueil, the best way to say thank you is to continue from where he ended, to continue on the same way, his journey, to have, as you kindly mentioned, those scientists who are hidden and unfortunately hidden under the accumulative books, just wanting them to learn something by heart, to write them in the exam, and then to forget all about it. What is the coming step in your opinion?
I believe that it's very important to take care or to focus in Zoueil City, because Zoueil City now is really a very bouquet or collection of high quality professors. Last week I went a conference for mathematics in the Zoueil City. I was very surprised by the university that collect all the professors from Egypt and appreciate their work, and they mentioned that we need to collect with you, to collaborate with you. And I was very happy that the city or the students have this grid mentality. They are talking about success economic development. Even they are engineering, and in the past engineering are focused only in the field of engineering. The new generation mentioned no, that we need to work with engineering to empower society by doing something to solve a problem or to apply a new techniques like nanotechnology, space programs. This was very amazing for me, and I believe that the government and decision maker have to do something to empower Zuwail city and to spread the idea of Zuwail city in everywhere, that we need applied science. We need even the basic science have to serve for applied science, to do something for the community. As well mentioned always, he mentioned always that I need this city to be like the catalyst for the Middle East, to do all innovation, all a great idea to make this welfare and good for all people inside the earth, not only the Middle East.
When we talk about empowering innovations and empowering the sense of creation inside youth, I mean the minds of youth, not only in the branch of nanotechnology or whatever branch Dr. Zuwail specified in, where do you think the tools that could qualify the new generations to be able to create new Zuwails? I mean, are you satisfied with the current systems of instructing young scientists or education? I mean, education is very much involved. When we talk about producing or bringing up new generations of scientists like Zuwail, and we have the calibers, what do we need?
It's two ways. First, the innovation is not should not be something from the scratch. For example, if the people get something and make localization to benefit environment or something, this is innovation. To do application to knowledge management is innovation. Anything new, not from the scratch, not science, maybe something in the way of something. Nothing depend on only like Einstein science, no. How the people work in this, it's two way. One, personal issues that now with the digital citizen that you can, with your mobile, know everything, connect everywhere, and you can do great things. So I'm encouraging all my students, I mentioned to them, now your century is better than our century. You are going to connect everywhere and do a great science by using only your mobile. You can make simulation, you can lead by simulation. The other thing, the ecosystem inside the university and the education in Egypt should be changed. We should teach the teachers how they have them to think out of the books and to encourage students to do research. We need more, not more laboratories, not more building. We need more teaching them how to use new technology.
Are you saying, ma'am, that this has nothing to do with finance? I mean, to implement what you've just mentioned, this does not need a lot of money. This is only needs ideas out of the box, and that's it?
Yes, and this is the same what happened inside India. India is a very poor country, and the students or the young people use mobile applications
India is a very good
to
example.
improve Google, to improve the IBM system, so they connect with the out system and make improvement and innovation, and they became outsourcing for these big companies. So we can do the same. So we start with ourselves. There is a lot of open line courses. No need just to have your mobile handset, and you can work and Google whatever you want. And you will teach yourself, and you do innovation by mobile application. Maybe you do something for knowledge management. You do something for improvement, some equations. And when you feel that you are good, for example, for big science, you can bring everything by collecting without sourcing out people. So now it's becoming very easy. If we use the technology in the good manner, not just for chatting or see the famous this actor, and we focus only to build a capacity building for ourselves or building our mentality building, open mind in everything, I believe a lot of people can make innovation. This is what happened exactly in India, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in very poor country like Johannesburg. The same people, the poor people, they're doing good business by using a new technique, by innovation and entrepreneurship. So I believe that's very important, and also the decision maker have to change the way of education. And I believe this our new minister, Dr. Tariq Shawqi, he's perfect. I believe that he have a great mentality to use technology and to empower youth to use, and the teacher also. Inshallah, it will be fine then later.
Yeah. But there is also another sector which is bringing up the new generations ethically and mentally, regardless of the tools of attaining information. I mean, classifying the abilities of students. I mean, and you talked about a very important element, which is when I ask a question about who and why or why and how, I could be classified as a stupid or a slow student. Then there should be some a burden over the system of education. I mean, the upgrading of teachers, the awareness, I mean, spreading awareness campaigns or applying new methods and instructing teachers and training them on how to bring up new generations. How important is that?
This is very important, and very important not only to educate the teacher, also to educate the mother and family. Because the culture inside the Middle East and Egypt especially, that always mention that this university is the high one, for example, engineering or medicine. And maybe I love art, maybe I love doing music, and there's a lot of things. So yes, we need to make a good awareness for teachers that whatever the student asks you, if you don't know, don't salting them or don't punish them. Ask another one, because maybe teacher don't know what the student mentioned, because now students have a lot of knowledge. And what I mentioned also in the university for the professors, don't depend in the past that student don't know. In the lecture, when I mention anything, he can use his mobile and check what I'm saying, it's right or wrong. So we have to understand the new mentality. The students have a great mentality, great knowledge, and we have to encourage them and help them to improve themselves. And I believe also the mother herself should be connected, well educated in using technology, and to give her kids a clearance to say whatever he wants, even if he asks about religion, if even he asks about something we feel in the past is dangerous area. Let him ask, let him say whatever he wants. Maybe this will lead for a great or destructive innovation in the future.
Amen to that, ma'am. But you've mentioned a very important issue when you were talking about our culture. For example, we are naming some faculties as the top faculties. What we call in Arabic كليات القمة. I don't know why. Why the faculties of engineering and faculty of medicine are called the top faculties, and the faculty of law, for example, those who are going to be graduated from faculty of law, then they are going to be the judges, they are going to be the prosecutors. How I can consider them not graduated from a top faculty? This is a very important issue, and I think this culture should be changed. But I'd like to return to what you are doing yourself in Banha University, because this is very important. And this is far from the decision makers, far from the cabinet, far from the ministers. It's you, because you are the one who is having this direct contact with the students. When you are thinking out of the box, you are going to let your students think out of the box, and you are going to let them innovate. You are going to let them show their creativity. How I can achieve this not only as an individual effort. I mean, I think that this should prevail all over Egypt, in all our universities, whether the governmental ones or the private ones. How this can be achieved? Because if we achieve this, in my humble opinion, we are going to generate a lot of scientists or a lot of successful graduates in all fields, if you agree with me.
Yes, of course, exactly, I agree with you totally. Yes, look, when I start with myself, when I was in university, I decided to be not normal professor inside university.
Not a traditional.
A traditional,
yeah.
Yes. For this, I go for taking a lot of courses. I'm engineering, I'm professor of engineering, I'm doing research in engineering, but I need to do something above the system, above my colleagues. So I went to take course in innovation and entrepreneurship from UC Berkeley, from America. And I study this and collect the socio-economic development, and I volunteer in NGO to empower and see what happens. So I start to understand the system. I understand after I became the head of electrical engineering department, I was the first lady in my college, and to be in this position.
To occupy this position.
Yeah, and I feel this. I was feeling that I'm top, I'm very fine, but when I participate in the NGO and connect with outside people, outside the university, I feel that this is not true. The university main target to empower people, to connect with the community, to do something for socio-economic development. For this, I return with a great new mind that I need to empower my students, do something great, and to go for innovation.
CSR,
yeah,
corporate social responsibility.
This is very important. Yes. And anytime you put it as a volunteer, you gain a lot. Even if you didn't take any money, you will gain training, you will gain connected, you will gain information. And this is the secret for success for people outside. They always do something just to help or serve the community, and they gain a lot. Then when I became in the international scale, and I became one of Arab American frontiers from AAAS in USA, I became like a success story. So all people mentioned she is coming from Tanta, countryside, and she became like this, we can do it. So what this I mentioned, that we need to show the success story in Egypt, and we have a lot of people more than perfect, and they are doing well, but no one think about them. So we need to give the new generation success story, because it's like, it will be like sequential spread, and we have, I believe now in Nile TV, when you bring people, yes, we speak about this and this, it will be success story, and we will make a new media progress inside to show the success story of Egyptian ladies or Egyptian men.
Very nice, very inspiring, by the way. But also we need to talk about the achievements of Ahmed Zuwail. They are one in a lifetime achievements, no doubt. So not many people understand the gravity and importance of the latest achievements of Ahmed Zuwail. How have it helped his field, and especially cancer?
I need to ask to mention one thing that's very important, because last talk about from Ahmed Zuwail, he mentioned that my big achievement that I make Zuwail City to empower or to change the mentality inside the Middle East about science and technology. And I believe this is the good indeed that will Sadqa Jariyah, that he will continue for him and for our country. So he classified big achievement Zuwail City, because he was dreaming to do something for Egypt. And for his achievement inside science, the using of the new spectroscope make a new treatment for cancer and do the early diagnostic for cancer disease, and this will help that the spread of cancer can be eliminated before it go for dangerous stage. And Ahmed Zuwail, for his achievement, the spectroscope not only help in medicine, it will help in a lot of fields, engineering, in the space spectrum, everything. And that's what we mentioned in all religion, that mentioned that science have.
When you are going to add this syllable nano, and to add anything right after it, it's going to work.
Yes.
Well, Professor Ghada Amer, Professor of Electrical Engineering in Banana University, thank you very much for your input, ma'am. Have a very good day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, and you have an excellent day. Now we're going to go to a short break, and we'll come back to you. Stay with us.